Yeah.
We talked a lot last week, as you can imagine, about coaches. We did Hey Dad's Hot Board Volume 2 and all the things that come with it. But when we were at the Farm Bureau / Pearl River Resort, Hey Dad, when you were over there judging ribs instead of doing your job, we got some messages from people like, hey, why not Mingione? Why not him? You know, he's winning. He knows state, all that. Why not Mingione? And even Will asked me, it was like, hey, like, you keep saying that they do, like the way they play and the stuff they do is hard to digest. Explain that. You can't explain it until you see it. And I'm so glad that...
I feel like I was the first on that.
I would like to issue a correction, perhaps an apology to Richard Cross. Because last week, told me on this show, he's like, you sure that style of baseball will fly? I was like, if they're winning, no one will care. Yeah, no. Nobody wants to watch that.
Tell you, man, it's
and
a tough
especially
watch.
Nobody wants to watch you doing a conga line in the dugout when you're losing. That is never going to fly at Mississippi State. Maybe at Kentucky, where they care about baseball as much as they care about, the price of tea in China. But at Mississippi State, that's never going to work. So, Richard Cross, you were correct.
Thank you.
I'll give you that one.
They are Timu, Tennessee. That's what they are. They're obnoxious, but not in like the I'm better than you, like cocky obnoxious. They're just obnoxious.
They're like a bunch of
you
little
make
kids.
that comparison last week, and I disagree with you on the, like, I feel like Tennessee is still carrying its reputation from 3 years ago.
They are. They've toned it down some, but it's still there.
Oh, sure.
I mean, Liam Doyle shoving a guy that he tags out on the base, like that kind of stuff. They still do that crap.
No, I get that. That happened this weekend. They played with an edge, there's no question.
And then he chirps it there after he did something dumb. I mean, they still have some of that, but it did crack me up to see State fans on Friday, at least in the online sphere, were like, oh, this is kind of stinks. Saturday, it was like, wait, these guys are serious? And then by game 3, it was, this is the worst. Why was he ever a candidate for this job? Yeah. Get him off your hot board now.
That's why he was off my hot board.
So, to me, there are two things about that. One reason you play, Nick Mingione told me himself that it's all about team chemistry, and he loves the team chemistry, and he wants his guys to have fun and all that good stuff. And I'm fine. Of course you want to have fun. I just hate silly in sports. I hate silly. But silly plays sometimes. But I think you do that for a couple of reasons. One, you're not very good, and you're trying to level the playing field. And so you get your guys to play loose, and you do some things that are part of the game but are unconventional that most teams don't do because you're trying to overcome some sort of talent deficit. The second part of it is, if you do the things that Kentucky does at an extremely high level, which is run the bases, get in the head of the opposing pitcher, you're trying to get in the head of the opposing team, but you're fundamentally sound. Like you play great defense, and you steal a lot, and you bunt a lot, do a lot of sacrificing to move guys around. I mean, that's a style. The style of baseball itself is honestly not that much different than the way Augie Garrido coached at Texas. Mm-hmm. But if Augie Garrido had ever seen a conga line in his dugout, he would have gotten his grill out and would have cooked his players on the grill.
They bat.
It's like, I was assuming it was a luau.
Yeah. He would have committed felonies in that dugout.
They bat flipped a hit by pitch.
Yeah.
I was like, did I just see that?
They bat flip walks, which is not as bad. But
what are we doing here?
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. It's like, hey, we're going to take what they can give us and we're going to celebrate it. Right. Somebody says Savannah Bananas is the SEC. No, because it's not entertaining. Savannah Bananas are entertaining.
Yeah.
Although you had some pretty serious baseball guys kind of going after them being the downfall of the game.
We talked about that a little bit last week. I know 4 guys my age that went to see the Savannah Bananas at Clemson with no children with them. And I thought that was weird.
81,000?
They were part of the 81,000, and I thought that was weird. I even told them that. They're like, dude, you don't understand. It was so much fun. I was like, yeah, for a 5-year-old. You're a grown man. hey, boys, let's go see the Savannah Bananas dance to Lady Gaga while the guy on stilts tries to hit a ball. You're asking for a circus. For kids, totally different deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was if he was
Well, look, to
auditioning
me-
for that job, that was a very bad audition for both losing all 3 games, getting swept, and then the antics that came with it. That's not going to get you a job like the one that is open right now.
All right, so now let me go complete 180 and compliment Nick Mingione. Because there are a couple of things that are worth complimenting. One, he has figured out a style that works for the baseball program at Kentucky, and he's won a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in trouble a year ago, and they ended up in Omaha last season.
Yeah.
So that's part one. And part two, Nick Mingione is trying desperately. He's working really, really hard to build up a baseball fan base for Kentucky at a place where a baseball fan base didn't exist. They got the new park. It's really nice. I don't know if you guys have, I haven't seen a game there, but I had a football game there. I was like, I just want to go see the baseball stadium. It's really, really nice. And it could be expanded if they ever needed to. Obviously, they don't right now. But he has done the whole, Skip Bertman, Mike Bianco, speak at every event, do every interview, talk to as many people as you can. Everything you do is about selling your program. And he's done that locally, and it's part of the reason that they are building more of a fan base with Kentucky baseball. I still just hate the style of play. But look, I didn't like a lot of what John Cohen did. Not because he was John Cohen. I mean, he won a bunch of baseball games, but the whole, get the whistles out for pregame warm-ups in baseball. Oh, stop trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Just go run your pregame like everybody else does it. If Ron Polk didn't need a whistle to get through infield, outfield, and batting practice, neither do you. But you got a lot of people that want to, outthink the room. They don't want to hit fungo fly balls. They want to throw them out of a pitching machine that's straight up in the air. Whatever. Sorry, I'm like old man baseball yells at clouds right now. I'm sorry.
So anyway, not going to be seeing Nick
So Nick Mingione not on the list for the
board.
state job, huh?
Here, let's take the eraser and
Yeah.
off
Good.
the list.